Hello Virgo. So let's see here. We are going to be using, for those of you that are interested in the cards, we're going to be using my Gilded Lenormands. We're going to be pulling from Sonia Choquette's Ask Your Guides and Doreen Virtue's Crystal Angels cards. Let me kind of adjust these. I know where I'll adjust them as we work our way through it. I do have my Findicicle Kippers, my Sabilas, my Sabila Indonevas, and what else do I have? Bluebirds. So if we need another layer of Lenormands, I have the Bluebirds ready as well. Okay. So, bottom of the deck. And I should have the camera, it's zoomed in fairly close. Yes, so that you can see the cards. So what we have is, we have the Well, the Labyrinth, Fox, Dice, Magnifying Glass, Mask, Bridges, Bear, and the Tower. Now, the way this spread works, this card here in the center, this is, what is the focus of the issue? And you have Magnifying Glass. Now, this can be about taking a closer look, maybe analyzing things, getting some new information, details. Flip side, it can be overanalyzing, but it's a card that talks about a legal investigation, some legal matters, but it's also about having a new perspective. So for most of you, this is a legal situation, but they're really saying that the time has come for a new perspective on things because of how things have gone the whole time. Things have actually shifted. So say, up to this point, you've had a lot of challenges and difficulties, and it seems like no one's on your team. Oh, these cards too. Okay. Hold on a second. Angels with me. That's funny. Yeah, no one's on your team. Yeah, well, that's in one of your other cards. Okay. So you feel like, you don't have help. No one's on your team. You feel like no one's on your side. You feel like you're just fighting this all on your own. You feel like, oh my gosh, because this whole thing's been a struggle. And you're still thinking that. You're still thinking, okay, am I still being deceived? Am I still being tricked? Am I still being lied to? Is there no one helping me? But the time has come for your perspective to shift in this legal matter that you have been going through. Now, what has led to, or, instigated, provoked this issue, this needing to look at things from a different perspective, is a lot of you have hit rock bottom. So this card is the card that talks about what has, instigated, provoked it. Now this card typically, this is a beautiful card. This is the Well. The Well's all about wishes, things coming true, but it's also healing. It's digging deeper. It's working so hard for an issue. It's also feeling like we've hit rock bottom, because when you're trying to get water out of a well, you drop that bucket way down and it might hit the rock bottom before it comes up with some water. So you have been working so diligently and so hard with this matter that you've been in, this legal matter, this situation that you have been in. For many of you, you've been in it for 2 to 4 years. And it has been, now for some of you it could be a little bit longer, but it's been really intense for most of you, they're saying, for the past 2 to 4 years. And you've given it all you've got. You've just worked yourself to the bones. You're like, I don't have anything else left in me to give to this. I just can't. Because you've worked really, really hard. So you've now gotten to this point where you're just like really worrying and freaking out, overthinking, overanalyzing, because maybe I missed something. Oh my gosh, there's something I didn't catch. Are they doing something? Are they not showing me something? Is something hidden from me? But you don't need to, some of you, they're encouraging you to stop overanalyzing. They're saying they're going to show us what they're talking about as we work our way through these cards. But things are now turning in your favor. Because they're saying for a number of you, but because it has been so difficult, there have been so many challenges that you've been overthinking. Because in the past, what you have is the Well, Dice, and Bridges. So you took this risk. You went all in. Some of you may have been a whistleblower. You may have filed a lawsuit. Could be a class action. Could be a medical malpractice. Could be a legal matter with your corporation. Again, some of you could be whistleblowers. But you took this risk. You went after them. You're like, oh no, this won't be happening. Not today. So you took that risk. And you have worked so hard to overcome these obstacles and hurdles, because, a bridge, yes, it can bring people together, it can, separate people, but this bridge also, if you look, there's these treacherous mountains So it's helping people overcome these mountains, overcome these obstacles, overcome these things that are thought to be impossible. So you took this leap of faith, you took this risk, and you began putting in all the hard work to overcome one hurdle after another hurdle after another hurdle with this legal matter, this situation. And you've been trying so hard to overcome that mountain, to bring this to a close. And you have just felt like, some of you recently felt like so they're saying for some of you in the very recent past, you felt like you're rock bottom because you've again come to a point where you're having to redo some things or resubmit some stuff. But during this past, you have felt like you were at rock bottom because you're like, no matter what I do, there's one challenge after another, one mountain after another mountain. And many of you, you've been like, oh my gosh, when's it going to be over? So now you've come to the present, which is these 3 cards. The Labyrinth, the Magnifying Glass, and the Bear. So this situation that you've been in, it has been filled with confusion. Like if you look here, you can't see clearly. You can barely see the second bridge back here. Lots of confusion, not really knowing what's going on. And that's what a labyrinth is, because a labyrinth talks about, you know, you're going through this maze, you're going through this puzzle, and you'll have this false start. You'll hit and bump into a wall, and you have to stop and start back over. Reevaluate the situation, but you don't give up. You just have to make your way through the confusion, through the maze, by a lot of trial and error. And it doesn't happen right away. It takes a lot of work. And that's where you're at. This has been a long time coming, trying to get yourself out of this confusing maze, this confusing mess, to bring it to a close. And some of you feel like you're back at square one because you're feeling like, oh my gosh, here I go again. And so you're looking, you're evaluating things like, you know, what is it that I missed? You know, why is this happening? You know, is someone hiding something again? Are they lying to me again? You know, I really need to look at these nitty-gritty details. Like, what is being hidden from me? What do I not know? And some of you, they're also encouraging you to not give up, because the Bear is, of course, power, protection, strength, being unshakable, impossible to defeat. Some of you are contemplating giving up. Do not give up. They're also saying do not expect defeat, because for some of you, since there has been so many trials and tribulations and false starts and redo this and resend this, that you're just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like some of you, you feel like it's set up that there's no way I can win this. No matter what I do, I feel like I'm banging my head up against a concrete wall. No matter what I do, it's almost like, so you're sitting down and you're doing math with someone and you're like, 2 + 2 is 4. And they're like, no, it's 6. And you're like, no, 2 + 2 is definitely 4. Nope, gotta be 6. You're like, oh no, let me show you again. Let me hold up 2 fingers. Now let me hold up 2 more fingers. Now let me help you count them like a 4-year-old. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 + 2 is 4. They're like, no, it's 6. And you're just like, I am at my wit's end with them, with these people. I'm going to snap and lose it. You're there. Don't expect defeat. You are not going to be defeated. You are unshakable. You are protected, and you are going to win this. This is going to turn out in your favor. You have not missed anything. So like many of you feeling like, here I go, starting again at square one. But just be patient, because for a lot of you, like when I had to resend my stuff, I was like, really? We're starting back over. And they said, no, it's really, you know, and I had to send also paperwork for some other things. And what the angels were telling me is just calm down. This is simply formality. They need official paperwork. They need official paperwork for these things. You've got to go through this official process. Everything's fine. And they were even telling me how most of this stuff has already been approved and taken care of. I don't know it, but I have to go through the paces. I have to go through the steps. Even if that means I need to get to send it for 6th, 7th, 12th time. I just have to go through that. It's just a step. It's not a hurdle. It's not a block. It's just another step, another little thing that has to happen. And many of you are just so frustrated with those things, but they're saying, don't give up. You're protected. You're guided. Now, the thing is, many of you, because there has been things hidden from you, there has been deception. For many of you, that's why it's been such a hardship, such a difficulty bringing this case to a close. So in the future row, this is your future row. You've got Fox, Mask, and the Tower. So the way the Normans work is they always play off of each other. You know, what's the card in the front? What's the card behind? So you have this Fox, and Fox is about trickery, treachery, manipulation, deception, you know, something that's really going on behind your back. someone that is doing things manipulatively to hurt you, to put you in a bad place. Things appearing as one way, but they're really the other. Then we have this mask. And the mask is about opposites. You know, the sun versus the moon, light versus dark, one way versus the complete opposite way. It's also about, you know, things appear one way, but that's not really how they are. Because, you know, not taking things at face value. Because what do we do at a masquerade party? We put on a mask. But that's not really who we are. We're just playing a role. And then you have the tower. And the tower is about corporations, companies, organization, governmental structures. It's also can be something that provides you protection, security, but it's also about legal dealings, something that can be official. So this legal matter, and it's going to be different for everyone because again, this is a general reading. So for some of you, it could be within your company. Maybe you are a whistleblower. For others, it could be maybe you're taking on a corporation. Maybe it is a class action suit or a medical malpractice suit but it's definitely a legal matter. And there has been trickery. Someone has deceived you, which has made things difficult for you. Now, again, this is the future role. So because things have taken so much time, because for some of you, they're saying it's almost like you've gotten into this law phase where you've gotten into this phase where it's like, it doesn't appear that anything's going on. It doesn't appear like anything's happening. And so you're fearful, what are they doing to me now? Are they doing something to hurt me? Are they doing something against me? Are they ganging up on me again? What is going on? Because it's just taken some time. So bringing this to a conclusion, it's taking a lot of time because of the bureaucracy, they're saying. So they're saying things have been taking some time because there are in fact things going on behind the scenes that you are not aware of. Now you think that things that are going on behind the scenes that you're unaware of, you think that they're manipulative, false, they're to put you in a bad place. When in fact, it's the opposite. It's protection, it's security, it's to assist you. And it's simply been delayed because of the bureaucracy and or the court proceedings, because the court system, it doesn't go quickly. It's not swift. Any governmental process is not swift at all. And then the bureaucracy, for those of you that are dealing with a large corporation, and nothing's going to go quick. So just know that things are going in your favor. They are going in your favor. Things have just taken some time because of the process. It's not because of deception. It's not because anyone is trying to do anything to harm you. You are in fact protected, and they've got protection twice. Now, let's pull some clarifiers on that because okay. So additional clarification on this. We've got courthouse, and this is the solicitor. This is the person who is bringing out the proceedings, the decision, the outcome regarding the legal matter. Then we have, pathway. And you can see there's this light at the end of this rocky, bumpy path. You twisted your ankles, you almost broke your wrist when you fell down. This has been a long time coming. And then we have thoughts, and this is positive thoughts. This is, looking at things, what do I want in the future? Putting your dream together, putting what it is that you desire together, making plans. So they're encouraging you to, again, shift your perspective. Because you are so fearful things are being done to harm you in the background, when in fact they're not. They're encouraging you to shift your thoughts to something positive, because these cards also work the same way as the Lenormands, where they have the interplay of each other. If this card was next to the false person and deception, this would be really bad. This would mean that, you might want to settle outside of court. Things are going to be in your favor. But this is saying light at the end of the tunnel. This is talking about, overcoming the hurdles, overcoming the trials and tribulations, and things turning out positively. Like as you've envisioned it, as you've dreamed the things that you desire, that's what you're going to be receiving. So in the future, within the next couple weeks, it's going to be over. You will be receiving this decision. In the meantime, you are being encouraged to maintain your optimism, continue to be positive, because things are not what they seem. There are things going on behind closed doors that you are not aware of and you will never be aware of. But they are not to hurt you. They are not to harm you. They are actually in your favor to assist you. Okay, so we're going to, so they want you to know that and to trust that. And I want to go over, I'm going to move these, give you guys some more light too. Now, on the bottom of the deck, there's this card, the Man. We're going to find out who this guy is, because they're saying he's tied to that deception that happened. So we're going to find out what's up with that guy. And we're going to move these for a second. Okay. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Okay. So let's find out who he is. Okay. He's your culprit. He's your fox. But he's not a foxy. He's not your love bug. Okay. So what they're saying is, this is the Man card. So in this deck, it's an extended deck. There are two men. You've got this man, and then you got the other man, and he is the one that's very powerful. I mean, he's powerful. This dude's not powerful. So in the cards that we have as the clarifiers, we have imprisonment, false person, occupation. And again, remember, you've had to work very hard to fight for yourself in this situation, this legal matter, because of this guy. So there is someone, they're saying he was older man. So whatever your legal matter is, be it he's in your organization, he could be an executive in your organization, he could be a top leader, he could be someone that you, because I get for some of you, it's not like it's a legal matter just between you and one other person. It could be multiple people. But he was the cog in the wheel. He was not ethical. He was doing the wrong things. He was being deceptive. So because since you've known that there have been deceptive things happening, you have had to, they're saying for some of you, you've had to correct the record multiple times. It was because of this guy. And this guy, he was in a position of power. He was he was the one that was in a position of power. He's no longer in a position of power. This is the powerhouse. He used to be a powerhouse. He's no longer a powerhouse. He's no longer a powerhouse either. He's been terminated. He has been demoted. He has been stripped of his power. But the people who are in positions higher than him have come to the realization that he's corrupt, that he's a liar, that he has done these wrongdoings to you. He is the reason that they are having to do a redress because of this guy. Because you had felt imprisoned. You felt as though you were having things stolen from you, things taken from you. You were feeling stuck in this situation, feeling like things were not moving forward at all, and feeling like anytime you would take a step forward, you would have to take 2, 3, 4 steps back, and you would have to work even harder because he was lying. He was doing things to hurt you, to hurt your case. And although most of you have become hip to that, you know who he is. Again, for many of you, he's a person that is older than you. Be in his 60s, but he's definitely older. He's no longer in the position of power. He no longer has any influence on you or this case any longer. He has been stripped of that. And, okay, we're going to come back to that in a second. They're saying we're going to pull 3 more. It's going to be the outcome. Okay. Now, when you look at these cards and you look at the Well, the Tower, the Fox, and the Bridges, those 4 cards, the interplay of those, that's actually what the basic issue is. So the basic issue with this situation is, you've been working really hard. You've been so focused on this day and night, so focused on this, trying to bring it to a close, trying to be, for some of you, to get past this so you can heal, so you can recover, to just fix the situation. And you've been working so hard to get this to work in your favor, to get this to be, the decision to be fair, for it to be in your favor so that you can heal, you can repair, you can get past this situation, you can move forward. But there has, in fact, been something that has been going on behind the scenes, behind your back, that has made it difficult for you. But, okay, they're saying it's twofold. It's this person who's made it very difficult and has caused you additional hurdles and blocks. And because you've had so many hurdles and blocks, again, you just fear that, oh my gosh, what's going on now? When's the other shoe going to drop? But this card, again, is also about overcoming the hurdles. So if you follow the course, difficult, rock bottom, And, you know, you've been putting up this big fight. You've had to deal with a lot of bureaucracy. You've had things going on behind the scenes that you weren't aware of, adding extra things, but you overcome all those hurdles. Now, the thing that's hidden from you, it's the interplay of the labyrinth, the dice, the mask, and the bear. So, you know, you feel like you keep hitting a wall. You feel like you have to keep starting over, or it feels like you have to keep starting over. And you're just working your way through this maze, through this confusion. You're just like, what in the world is going on now? I just don't understand. And, you know, you feel like, okay, every time you clear one hurdle, then there's this new element, this new thing that's introduced. And it's like always one thing after another. But what you're finding, okay, because they're saying at this point what the hidden thing is there's this one final thing that you've had to do, or last couple final things, like nitty things, like nuisances. So you've been going through this and you feel like you're hitting a wall over and over and over again. So they're saying in the past, since the holidays, there has been this additional, it's not a mountain, they're saying it's like a little bump, a little molehill, something that you had to do. Maybe you did have to resubmit paperwork. Maybe you had to go in and have negotiations one more time. And you just don't understand. You're like, why is there this new thing? And so now you feel like, I thought it was over. I thought there was everything, you had everything to bring this close. I don't understand why we're doing this again. And so for many of you, you're fearful that, you know, oh my gosh, there's this deception going on again. This isn't going to work out in my favor. It's all back over to square one. But things are not as they appear. Kind of like, you know, I had to send paperwork, similar to a number of you. Things weren't starting back over at square one. Most things are already approved and ready to go. It's just a formality. So for many of you, this is simply a formality where you fear that they're going to take things to have this not turn out in your favor, when in fact they're just crossing all their T's and dotting all their I's to make sure they have everything that they need to give you the verdict, to give you the determination, to give you the redress, to make things right. But because you've been in this state all the time, you're just fearful, oh my gosh, oh, what is this? But they want you to know things are not what they seem. You're fearful that it's negative, but in fact it's the opposite, it's positive. You are protected. And you are in this power seat. You are going to overcome what seems impossible. You just don't know it. And things are lined up for you to overcome it. They just don't know it. Now, things that kind of bring you down, we can look at these arrows of the bridges, the labyrinth. Oh no, that's going to be up. Okay, so looking down, the well, the bear, the fox. So this thing that kind of brings you down is because you have been at rock bottom, and some of you feel like you're back at rock bottom because you're just like, why? I feel like I'm in the twilight zone and going in circles because of the trickery and treachery and deception, things that have happened to you in the past. You do need to know that you are protected to, in fact, change your perspective, and you are not to give up. Because for some of you, you are so fearful, like, is this ever going to end? Is it ever going to turn? Am I ever going to get the verdict, the decision? Some of you feel like you're in the twilight zone, but they're encouraging you to change, again, your perspective. Things are not what they seem. Things are actually going in your favor now. You are protected. You are going to be the victor. It's going to turn out in your favor. Huge, huge. Because the thing that's looking up is you got the bridges, you got the labyrinth, and you've got the tower. Now, the tower also means something tall, something massive, something huge. So you are about to overcome this confusion, this maze, in a huge way. Huge. You're almost there. They do keep saying, do not give up, because you're going to really want to beat yourselves up when you realize how close you are. It's imminent, they're saying. You're about to receive the messagiere. So for a number of you, the messagiere, the message is coming from afar. Let's see here. So these are these additional cards on top of the man. So we have the Consolante Sorpresa. And You've got that right there. And this would be, you know, a comforting surprise, something that's unexpected money. And then you have the great consolation, you know, gratification after a very long time, a lot of hard work. You've really put it in for this. But success in not just one area, but multiple areas. And then you have the La Costanza. And this is constancy, perseverance. So, and this is where they were talking about this is the outcome. So because of this guy and all these things that were done wrong to you, and because he has been ousted, they figured that out. He's no longer in a position of power, but during this process, because he's made it very, very difficult for you, and he had not come from a place of integrity. He was coming from a place of downright corruption for some of you, doing for some of you, even illegal things. That's why some of you are actually in a lawsuit and are going to win, because he's been found out. But because you did not give up when he was continuing to abuse his power with the trickery, the falsity, the lies, the deception that was going. So since you stood firmly because of your indomitable dignity, you will in fact be receiving unexpected financial gains and other rewards, compensation, redress, settlements, damages, and they're going to be much greater than you anticipated. So playing with low numbers, maybe you're expecting 400,000. Maybe you're going to get 1.5 million. But it is going to be more than you anticipate. And for some of you, it's going to be more than just monetary. Now, we're going to start to move these. Let's pull you a time frame because you guys have been going through this for a while. So let's see when this is going to be. Nice thing about the Lenormands is they can give you time frames. So let's go ahead and pull. Let's see here. We'll get you 3. Sorry, I didn't get these all shuffled up. Oh, it's just taking some good old. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's funny. They told me to pull 3 timing cards because just one was not good enough. And they're all saying the exact same thing. Let's put our dirt bag over there. Okay, so the first one you have for timing, let's put these back in the right order. You have mice. Mice means right now, shortly. Then you have the second one that came up was fish. Hence by the end of the month that they were saying. And the last one you have, which is beautiful, is the clover, 2, which means now, immediately. It's over. Finally, it is over. Now, you just need to change your what's going on in your head. Because these are 3 cards that we pulled. These are Angel's recommendations, some additional information that might be able to help you during this time. You have self-esteem. At the bottom it says Guardian Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has been at your side during this entire process. He is God's warrior. You have been a warrior. And many of you have been feeling as though you've been fighting all on your own. You see this whole team, and then here's this little guy, but he is wrapped up in Archangel Michael's wings, his love, totally protected. So what they're saying is with this self-esteem card, it's not about, you know, self-esteem and feeling so good about yourself. It's because you have been going through these challenging situations and you have felt misunderstood. You have felt that you have not been heard. You have felt like you've been going at it alone. You have begun to question, which is again why they're saying the core, because the focus of the issue is simply changing your perspective. This is going to turn out in your favor. You have maintained your ethics, your integrity. You have done the right thing. They're saying for some of you, it's also because you stop questioning whether or not you did the right thing. You have done the right thing. For many of you, you've done the right thing, not just for yourself, but for others. And to not question that, just because it's not been easy, doesn't mean it's not been worth it. It doesn't mean that you weren't destined and fated to do this. It does not mean that you were in the wrong. What you did was right. You need to trust that it was right. You need to have faith in that. Because victory is yours. Finally, you're going to get pinned with those stars. At the bottom it says divine helpers. And look, it goes from being just you and Archangel Michael going at it. Whoa, you against the team, to now look. Now you have these people. You're surrounded by people now. You're surrounded by the divine help that you've had this whole time. But victory is assured. And they just pull 3 different time cards. So it's coming. Maintain your optimism. Maintain your positive thoughts. And at this time, while you are waiting, if you do have any nitnoidy things, don't become frustrated with it. Just send it. Go meet with them. If they want to have a phone call, go on ahead and do that. You're not starting over. It's just wrapping up. It's the final conclusion steps and things that have to happen. Think of it as, again, them crossing their T's and dotting their I's. They have to have everything that they need in order to let you know, okay, here you go. You're right. We were wrong. We're sorry. We're going to redress. We're making this right. Okay. In the meantime, something that you can do, I did pull from, let me find it real quick in the book, Ametrine. So I pulled a crystal card. So if you have this crystal, if you want to get this crystal, for some of you, it may benefit you to get this crystal. You can carry around your pocket. As my friends like to, stuff it in the bra, put it in your pocket, put it in your purse, set it next to your nightstand, wherever, but it would, for a number of you, be something that will benefit you. Ametrine, at the bottom it says balancing masculine and feminine energies. Allow your feminine side to creatively inspire you and your masculine side to give you confidence. Now, I'm going to read the book for you. This card comes up whenever you find yourself stuck in your masculine energy. What you've been having to do things. Masculine's doing, feminine's receiving. It's time for you to receive. Okay, we're going to get back to the book. Stuck in your masculine energy because of the competitive or stressful work or family situation. Perhaps you feel like you've had to do battle or be extra vigilant. Yet there's a time to balance that masculine energy with the nurturing gentleness of your feminine energy. Every person has both masculine and feminine energy within, and balancing them is essential for health and effectiveness in life. The feminine energy receives divinely inspired ideas and creative insights, and the masculine energy puts the ideas into motion. Both are equally important as they are 50-50 partners. Too much feminine energy can lead to passivity, where dreams aren't acted upon, and too much masculine energy can result in uninspired or aggressive action. Prayers can help you find your balance. Once you do, you'll discover that your stress levels are reduced and you'll be better able to relax when you get home from work. So about Ametrine, this beautiful purplish stone has the sunset colors of gold peeking out from it, as it is a mixture of violet amethyst and yellow citrine. It's because of this dual nature that Ametrine is considered such a wonderful stone for balancing your masculine and feminine sides. So this is beautiful. I look forward to hearing about it and hearing about your big victory that's coming your way, and filled with so much love, joy, and tremendous unexpected blessings.